No, the party has been.
No, the party has been very demonstrative that I lied, and it's okay that I do it again. And though their fraudulent crimes easy, party colleagues admit that they are still mentally challenged through and through. I misled the parties when again gays and talks had to be shut off with a petition of concern that until we could destabilise the assembly so far and push them all out, they have been needing me to show how to do it, piss in the punch bowl, and when it's appropriate to hand it over, and I think that moment has arrived.
As far, again, with Dr. Paisley, he said, I suppose, that power sharing with Sinn Féin would have been his legacy, David Trimble's legacy, perhaps the Good Friday Agreement. What about yours?
Well, you can look.
While you can look to the rioting, the shaking of penises, and just us at Clontebret, 1986, beat up cops, cars wrecked, broken windows, lights, uprooted trees, bastard trees. I despise them. Pines too close together, burn the trees. Clontebret was a favourite. Me caught, arrested, and everyone else got away from them. Fatty and the big chicken. It wasn't my idea. It was my idea, so it was forming a paramilitary group. But after that, Ulster Resistance, UDA operations with BVF. I set up that group, and it was my idea. Until Band-Aid, when I stepped down over arms, we heard they got rifles from South Africa with Gilliff charting high. We decided not to help put African arms around the world at Christmas time and unpack our own games for the economy of Northern Ireland.
What about challenges that you'd rather not have happened? You know, those pesky allegations of corruption and your wife stepping down from politics. How do you look back on those?
Well, I think.
Well, I think Iris had got her taste of the younger kind. They would fornicate with anyone, rather him than me. And Pastor McConnell was right, so I'm glad she did not stick her vagina around a gay, for I could not stand the idea of a gay in her. It's paying eternal shadow void sin, so it is. But we'd done okay with 250 grand for lock keepers and pushing the papers over as scams go. We were ahead of the ball. And of course, now my Project Eagle can speak for itself. The 570 grand was so long ago, 7 years. McCausland thinks he can pass that. It should be red sky, should be a lucrative job, which would have been much less damaging on myself.
And which would have been much less damaging on my health.
And you feel that family members have always supported you as much as they should have?
Both
the family and the party have done very well, signing the same bills and political expenses. In 2009, we got 6 salaries. It's 30 grand on M&S food, and Westminster's cost 150 grand flats. For the kids working at the party offices and the son at Cerberus law firm that secured the NAMA deal we did so well from, 7 million from offshore funds. Well, Cerberus is a dog that guards the gates of hell, so I wanted to stay on his right side. He gets
fascinated. While we've got you, I just want to ask you, what was your relationship like with Martin McGuinness once the cameras were off?
We've had
we have had to refuse to sit in Cabinet. I did well when the Assembly went belly up, as obviously they needed and were dependent upon us to create the framework for the Assembly. McGuinness has, I think, unresolved matters. Where we differ with many Sinn Féin is they want all gays married. It's difficult as we have God's given right. Relationships of gays, I think, are grotesque. Sewage, folks made of sulphur, make God sneeze, so they do. Generally, we also understand we both had constituency interests that we had to reject, and people on benefits able to be ready to work in wheelchairs. We are similar in paramilitary ideology and pernicious. There's the embezzlement, blaming alliance. We each put flags up, set them alight. So we have all taken our Northern Ireland forward.
So different in terms of our background, in political ideology and religious background, cultural interests. All of those things are very different, but we have still managed to take Northern Ireland forward.
Yeah, he describes you as a friend. How would you describe him?
Well, I think you cannot work with somebody for the length. You cannot excuse his comments on the moose, for the moose on its underside is an ugly animal, which my religion does not care for, and the way that it goes to run makes Elvis sad. And while we are about the subject, upon mules where we disagree, I'd kick a mule. Supporters of public transport for mules too. Assini is not so much in common with me as you see from definitely scams, are not professional. In the time I got 6 permits to build housing in my back garden, my own community, there are people who got paid well and we all got over a tidy profit. And if we all got to know what I did better, they'd realise I tore some of the buttocks out of it. Each arse pocket which divides them.
So you'll take that friendship with you out of office, presumably. What else are you going to do? How are you going to fill your time?
Well, he's threatening.
Well, I've been admiring the way that Blair stank all around after he was gone, so my expectations, I don't know. I haven't planned for the future. You can't really with the job that I'm in. A week here, there, I get the opportunity to pop over, spread the best racist prejudices. Obviously, so many to choose from, I'll have to consider what's best.
And since we conducted that interview, all sides in the conflict have had a meeting and have sorted everything out.